Hi, my name is John Shaw. I have a passion for helping procurement organizations evolve their tools and processes. I've been lucky enough to work with hundreds of companies and government organizations, helping them to change the way they do business. During this time, I've come to recognize ADKAR as a powerful tool for facilitating organizational change. ADKAR is an acronym for awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. Each part describes a key element required for successful change. In this 2-video series, I'd like to give you a crash course on how ADKAR can be used in the context of an eSourcing implementation. The first video will focus on educating you on the basics of applying ADKAR, while the second video will show you how specific examples and best practices can be applied. Let's get started. It's frustrating when you put your energy into a project and it fails to deliver what is expected. This can happen for a lot of reasons, and most of them can be traced to change management related issues. In fact, if we drill deeper, we'll find that change management really does sit at the heart of most project failures. So if change management is such a critical success factor, why aren't more organizations and project managers good at it? Well, oftentimes I feel that we are lacking the right tools for making it clear what we have to do to be successful at change management. But I think if you learn a bit more about how to use ADKAR, you can find that you can get to that clarity quickly. So let's look deeper into what ADKAR is and what ADKAR is not. Any Star Wars fan out there might recognize Admiral Ackbar. As you might have figured out, ADKAR is not Ackbar. What ADKAR is a tool developed by Prasi, a world leader in change management research. They have an excellent definition and tons of detail on their website that do full justice to ADKAR. For now though, I'll put it in my words. It's an easy way to grade yourself on how likely your implementation plan is to succeed at accomplishing change. Now that you're on the edge of your seat, let's teach you more. See that hotel? There's a bathroom in it. It may not be this exact bathroom, but most likely that bathroom has a rack of towels sitting next to the shower. Most people who travel know the simple rule about those towels. If you use them and leave them on the floor, then they get washed. If you get out of the shower and you put them on the rack, then they don't get washed. The reason most travelers know this is because of a little sign that nicely highlights a successful use of ADKAR principles. This little guy right here. Let's break the sign down into more detail. ADKAR states that to be successful, a program must accomplish 5 things. First, it must make people aware of the drivers for change. In our case, we have a sustainability driver to help save water. Next, people must have a desire to participate. In this case, we are appealing to people's ability to impact the environment. In addition, they must also have the knowledge to be part of the change. In this example, our card trains us that using the towel rack lets us be part of that change. Sure enough, we are also given the ability to be part of the change, for without the towel, we would be standing there, wet and cold. Finally, there is personal reinforcement in the warm feeling that we get by contributing to sustainability. And very importantly, this change can be measured. That measurement becomes something that's extremely important when we start talking about applying this to business processes and tools. So, in summary, if you want to create a program that changes people's behaviors, it must make them aware of why they're being asked to change, the drivers for those change. It needs to provide the fundamental motivation and desire for them to participate. This includes things like making sure the organization's objectives are aligned with the activity. It must give them the knowledge and the skills they need from the beginning all the way through the end of the change. And it must make sure the tools and support are there, that they have the ability to do what you're asking them to do. And finally, you need to monitor and reinforce the change. The program should have information flow that identifies how the change is occurring and provides the leadership team the ability they need, or the information that they need, to remove barriers and reward success. Enough theory, let's get started and look at an example. The group of people we're going to discuss for this particular project are those that are going to be impacted by an eSourcing implementation. If we break them up, we can see that they play many different roles and that some of them are not even part of the sourcing team. Yet, they are all impacted by the change. To help understand what our implementation program will need to cover in order to help them change, we will start by creating an ADKAR chart. Placing each role across the top and the ADKAR steps vertically, we look deeper into the requirements of the table cells. On the ability line, we list what actions we want each role to accomplish. In this initial stage, we recognize that different roles have fundamentally different activities to conduct for the project to be successful. For example, the activities of a super user are very different than that of a category manager. They focus on the system and system usage, whereas the category managers are focused on the results of the event itself. Next, we place ourselves in the shoes of each role, and we define the drivers of change for each. While a CPO might be supporting an eSourcing initiative because of its ability to reduce the bottom line, a category manager will also want to know why is the change required for their specific category. At the desire line, we visit motivation on two levels. First, we look to see that the organization is motivating people to be part of the change. Second, we look at the what's in it for me for each role, making sure that there's personal motivation there. After that, we define the skills and knowledge needed by each role to support the change. Similar to previous steps, one size does not fit all, and very distinct communication and training requirements emerge. Finally, we look to see how the organization is going to reinforce change, removing barriers and rewarding success. Remember, once this is all pulled together, you do not have an implementation solution. What you have is a fantastic way to grade your implementation plan. Let's take an example. This is a framework for a pretty standard multi-business unit eSourcing rollout. If we observe some characteristics of the plan and how they map back to ADKAR, we'll see that the plan meets many of the ADKAR requirements. First, the plan is deliberately designed to accomplish change. Early on, we understand the CPO's desire and we orient the project around those goals. We spend time making sure that the executive team is aware of the project drivers and have the knowledge they need to provide support. After that, we extend the knowledge and awareness downwards in the organization, finally reaching the category managers. The plan is specifically tailored to incorporate variances in team and business unit level goals, and the procurement director is given the project management structure needed to guide the program. The tool is configured to have the right abilities, and end users are trained. Usage is monitored, success rewarded, and barriers removed, with information flowing from the actual usage of the category managers and the super users all the way back up to the CPO. If we were to systematically review the mappings between the ADKAR chart and this implementation plan, we could create an assessment of the implementation plan's change management capabilities that would look something like this. And that is how you use ADKAR to rate an implementation plan. Congratulations, graduate. You are now dangerous in the change management profession. Maybe not quite this dangerous, but pretty dangerous though. We've completed the first video today. In the second video, we'll discuss some of the specific best practices related to eSourcing project change management success. To access the video, click on the link on the screen. You can also click on any of the other resources that have appeared on the screen to access them directly from the video. Thank you.